What remains on the face of a queen after the throne, the love, and history itself have all turned against her? Welcome to History Reborn AI, where silenced portraits are awakened by the cold light of technology. History has remembered these women through beauty, crowns, power, and legend. But behind every gaze lies a price: abandonment, imprisonment, execution, slander, or erasure from the memory of empires. Today, we walk through 20 faces of betrayed queens, and the one who arrives last carries a story so enduring the world still cannot look away. If you love history, share this with someone who deserves to know their names. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Number 20. She has no living voice, no written testimony, only a crown of hammered gold and the silence of a burial pit more than 4,500 years old. Queen Puabi of ruled in ancient Mesopotamia around the 26th century before the Common Era. Her skull and her headdress, excavated from the royal cemetery at give AI enough to reconstruct a face across the abyss of millennia. The world remembers her as a Sumerian queen resting among gold and ritual ceremony. But a colder truth survives. The attendants buried beside her. Were they willing, or were they the silent cost of her throne? She was worshipped in death. The woman behind the crown very nearly disappeared. The tomb preserved her headdress. It swallowed her voice forever. Number 19. She stepped out of a golden mosaic and into the history books. A woman who rose from obscurity to stand beside an emperor, draped in purple and crowned with the weight of an empire. Empress Theodora ruled alongside Justinian I in 6th century Byzantium, and the mosaic at the Basilica of San Vitale in Ravenna preserves her image in shimmering fragments of glass and gold, the foundation from which AI breathes her back into being. History remembers her as regal, formidable, almost saint-like in her authority. But ancient sources, particularly Procopius, buried her beneath accusations that many historians now read as politically motivated and shaped by the hostility of men who despised her power. She stood upon golden ground. Every whisper around her was black. Number 18. She never knelt. When Portuguese envoys denied her a chair, legend says she ordered a servant to become one and conducted her diplomacy from a living throne. Queen Nzinga Mbande ruled the kingdoms of Ndongo and Matamba in what is now Angola, resisting colonial power through the 17th century with a ferocity that no European engraving could fully contain. Those same engravings, rough, foreign, filtered through the eyes of her enemies, are what AI now draws upon to reconstruct her face. The world remembers a warrior queen who defied the Portuguese Empire. The truth is heavier. She governed between betrayal, the slave trade, and political survival, in a game whose rules were written by her adversaries. She did not merely protect a throne. She protected the right of an entire people to exist. Number 17. She challenged Rome itself. In the 3rd century, Zenobia of Palmyra commanded an empire stretching from Egypt to Anatolia, a desert queen who rode into battle and declared herself the heir of Cleopatra. Her coins, stamped with her profile in bronze and silver across the ancient Near East, are the primary record from which AI reconstructs her face. The world remembers the Queen of the Sands, who dared to defy the Eternal City. But when Rome finally crushed Palmyra and captured Zenobia, It was Rome that wrote the remainder of her story. Whether she died in chains, spent her last years in exile, or was granted clemency, the truth remains disputed. Rome won the war. It never removed her name from the desert. Number 16. She is the only woman in more than 2,000 years of Chinese imperial history to reign as emperor in her own name. Wu Zetian rose from the court of Emperor Taizong, survived the treacherous machinery of the Tang dynasty, and crowned herself sovereign of her own Zhou dynasty in the 7th century. No portrait from her lifetime can be confirmed with certainty, but imperial court paintings and Tang-era imagery become the raw material from which AI assembles her gaze. History remembers a woman who clawed through silk and ceremony to seize the dragon throne. But the record that followed, written by those who despised what she represented, condemned her before any verdict was rendered. She conquered the throne. She never conquered her own story. Number 15. She was handed a kingdom in crisis and a husband whose mind fractured beneath the weight of a crown he could not hold. Margaret of Anjou arrived in England as a French bride in 1445, queen to a king whose grasp on reality and on power slowly dissolved. When Henry VI collapsed, she fought for him and for their son through the brutality of the Wars of the Roses. Medieval illuminated manuscripts, including the Talbot Shrewsbury book, carry a fragment of her image forward into the reach of AI reconstruction, though no exact likeness survives. History remembers her as fierce, dangerous, condemned for ambition. The truth is more agonizing. She was a mother fighting to hold together what powerful men had already shattered. She fought for her son. The war took him from her hands. Number 14. They called her the Black Queen. Catherine de' Medici, born in Florence in 1519, arrived in France as a teenage bride and spent decades navigating civil war, religious massacre, and the deaths of children who wore the crown after her. Renaissance portraits, particularly those associated with the Clouet school, preserve her pale, watchful face in the cold precision of the 16th century, the source from which AI reconstructs the woman behind the legend. History remembers poison, dark corridors, and the long shadow of the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. But historians continue to debate the full measure of her role in that catastrophe. She held France together as it tore itself apart along lines of faith. They called her the Darkness. Perhaps France was what drove her there. Number 13. She was a queen before she ever set foot in English soil. Catherine of Aragon arrived from Spain as a princess, became Henry VIII's first wife, and spent years as a dignified, learned, and deeply devout queen. Tudor portraits from around 1520, held in the Royal Collection and the National Portrait Gallery, allow AI to bring that composed and resolute face into the light. History remembers the faithful wife who could not deliver a surviving male heir. The darker truth cuts deeper. She had once served as Regent of England, governing in her husband's absence with authority and competence. Henry stripped her of her title, her crown, and access to her daughter. He took everything except the one thing she refused to surrender: her name. Number 12. She was the legitimate Queen of Castile and Aragon. She was never permitted to govern, Joanna of Castile, born in 1479, inherited the most powerful throne in 16th century Europe, then watched her father, her husband, and finally her own son rule in her name while she was locked away at Tordesillas for nearly half a century. A portrait by Juan de Flandes shows a young woman with distant, unreadable eyes, the fragile foundation from which AI reconstructs what palace walls concealed. History remembers a queen labeled mad, fixed upon the corpse of her dead husband Philip. But the degree of her illness, and who truly benefited from that label, remains disputed. She held a crown. She was only ever permitted to rule the room of her own confinement. Number 11. They named her the She-Wolf of France. Isabella, Queen Consort of England in the early 14th century, was delivered as a diplomatic bride to Edward II. A king who marginalized her, redirected his loyalties elsewhere, and stripped her of resources and influence. Medieval manuscript illustrations give AI only a suggestion of her face, not a true likeness, but enough to gesture toward the cold authority that history both feared and condemned. The world remembers a treacherous queen who toppled her own husband. But before the wolf, there was a woman who had been silenced, abandoned, and pushed toward the edge of political extinction. When she was silent, she was crushed. When she resisted, history carved her name in darkness. Number 10. She was the most photographed empress of the 19th century, and perhaps its most invisible one. Elizabeth of Austria, known across the world as Sisi, married Emperor Franz Joseph I at 16 and spent the remaining decades of her life retreating from the court that had made her image its obsession. Photographs and the celebrated portraits by Franz Xaver Winterhalter preserve her with extraordinary detail, giving AI the material to reconstruct both her beauty and her grief. History remembers long chestnut hair, elaborate measurements, and a silhouette that became the stuff of fairy tales. Behind that silhouette, the relentless fear of aging, the death of her son Rudolph, and an assassin's blade on the shore of Lake Geneva. The world held on to her beauty. No one held on to the cry that lived behind it. Number 9. She was the last Empress of Russia, and the photographs that survive her are haunting in their clarity. Alexandra Feodorovna, born Alex of Hesse in 1872, came to the Romanov throne as a young bride and left it as a prisoner, executed alongside her husband and children in a basement in Yekaterinburg in 1918. The Romanov family archives preserve her face in extraordinary photographic detail, images that AI transforms from gray silence into living color and terrible presence. History remembers her as cold, unyielding, dangerously entangled with Rasputin, blamed for the empire's unraveling. The truth is more devastating. She was a mother fighting to keep her hemophiliac son alive, and a woman held responsible for the collapse of a world she had not built. She was born in a palace. History remembers her through the sound of gunfire in a cellar. Number 8. She was queen for 9 days. 9 days, and then a crown became a death sentence. Lady Jane Grey, born around 1537, was placed upon the English throne as a Protestant instrument in the summer of 1553 by powerful men who needed her name far more than they needed her will. The Streatham portrait and associated miniatures Their attribution to Jane still uncertain, still debated, are the fragile visual record from which AI works, reconstructing a face that history never fully confirmed. She was a scholar, a teenager, an unwilling instrument of ambition she never consented to serve. They placed the crown on her head just long enough for history to have a reason to take her life. Number 7. She was possibly no older than 17 when she became Henry VIII's fifth wife, the youngest of his queens, described by the king himself as a rose without a thorn. A portrait sometimes attributed to her, its true identity still unresolved by scholars, is the uncertain foundation from which AI assembles what may be her face. The court of Hampton Court surrounded her in silk and in danger. Her youth, her past, the predatory nature of the world that shaped her, all of it became evidence that sealed her fate. Catherine Howard was accused, condemned, and executed in 1542. The king's rose bloomed briefly inside the palace walls. It withered in the long shadow of the tower. Number 6. She ruled Egypt as pharaoh, not as queen regent, not as royal consort, as pharaoh, with the double crown, the crook and flail, and the ceremonial beard of divine kingship. Hatshepsut of the 18th dynasty reigned in the 15th century before the Common Era, and her monument at Deir el-Bahari still stands as defiant testimony to her reign. Her statues at the Metropolitan Museum of Art and the reliefs carved into her temple walls allow AI to restore a face that was methodically erased after her death. Many historians believe it was her successor, Thutmose III, though the full motive remains a matter of debate, chiseled her image from stone and struck her name from the record. They erased her from the rock. They could not erase her from history. Number 5. There is a bust in Berlin, painted limestone, a crown of midnight blue, a face so precisely composed, so symmetrical in its stillness, that it has become one of the most recognized human forms the ancient world left behind. Nefertiti, great royal wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten, lived in the 14th century before the Common Era, and the bust, alongside the Amarna period reliefs that survive, form the foundation for AI reconstruction of a woman the ancient world both elevated and then seemed to consume. History remembers the perfection of the image. It does not remember the ending. Her disappearance from the historical record, whether by death, by exile, by a change of identity, or by elevation to co-rulership, remains fiercely disputed among scholars. The world knows her face by heart. No one is certain how it vanished. Number 4. She altered the course of European religion. Henry VIII dismantled England's allegiance to Rome in pursuit of her, and within 3 years of their marriage, sent her to the scaffold inside the tower. Anne Boleyn's portraits, held at the National Portrait Gallery, though their accuracy as true likenesses remains a matter of scholarly debate, serve as the fragile visual record from which AI reconstructs the woman who reshaped a continent. History remembers a queen accused of adultery, incest, and treason. Many historians today regard those charges as a political construction, fabricated to remove an inconvenient obstacle. She was the consuming desire of a king's decade. Henry pursued her for years across the courts of Europe. He required only weeks to bring her to the blade. Number 3. She became Queen of Scotland when she was 6 days old. 6 days. From the very first breath of her sovereignty, she was property of other people's ambitions, treaties, and wars. Mary Stuart, Queen of Scotland, former Queen of France, claimant to the English throne, spent 19 years imprisoned by order of her cousin Elizabeth I before being executed at Fotheringhay Castle in 1587. Portraits, letters, and the material legacy of the Scottish court give AI the layered visual evidence to reconstruct the face that history could not agree on. History remembers a beautiful, tragic rival queen. The suffocating truth is this: she was born to reign and spent the greater portion of her adult life being controlled, judged, and used by the ambitions of others. She was born a queen. History most remembers her bowing her head beneath an axe. Number 2. She arrived in France at 14 and was queen at 18. Marie Antoinette, born an Archduchess of Austria in 1755, became the living emblem of a world that France had decided to destroy. The portraits of Elizabeth Geviget Lebrun and the raw, merciless sketch made by Jacques-Louis David as she rode toward her execution both survive as AI's contrasting source material, spanning the full distance between splendor and ruin. History remembers powder, silk, and the lie that she told the starving to eat cake, a phrase the historical record strongly suggests was never hers. She was made a scapegoat for the rage of a revolution that needed a face to hate. They did not merely execute a queen. They executed the very image they had spent years constructing of her. Number 1. No face in history has been imagined more often. No face has been more deliberately distorted. Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt, who died in 30 before the Common Era, has been filtered through more than 2,000 years of Roman propaganda and the relentless hunger of the world to make her into something league, to make her into something it could possess. Her coins, the sculptural bust scholars associate with her likeness, and the reliefs carved at the Temple of Dendera are what the historical record actually offers. And from these, AI reconstructs a face that may be profoundly, shockingly different from the myth. She was not merely a seductress. She was a strategist, a linguist, a ruler fighting to save a collapsing dynasty against the weight of Rome. Rome took her kingdom, but more than 2,000 years later, the world still cannot look away from her face. These faces were silenced by time, but when AI returns the light to their eyes, history is no longer cold stone. It becomes a pain that is still alive.